Let's talk about women in career in America versus women in career in Italy. This comment is about Lamborghini, but I worked at 4 different companies and I saw the same trend. Now, guys, you might be seeing this differently because you only been in America and nowhere else. Let's start with career, salaries, and everything. In America, for me, it was much more common to see women in career compared to the Italian counterparts. Also, when it comes to interviews, a lot of my Italian girlfriends, it is very usual for them to get questioned about if they would like to have a family in the next 3 years. Why would a company want to know that? Because in Italy there is a high welfare program, and if you know that your employee wants to raise a family, you would know that for a few months you will not have an employee, and that employee would still cost you. So, as a corporation that wants to improve profits and costs, unfortunately, it is very common for an employer to ask to a woman if they would like to have a family, to make some calculations. Now, in America, because that social program is not that big, that question is not as common among American employers. America focuses a lot more on quotas. Italy started recently, but it's not as strong. Women in managing positions, much more prevalent in America. Guys, 3 different jobs, and I always had a woman manager. Women as entrepreneurs. Guys, I worked for Lamborghini in the US. The amount of female entrepreneurs in America, staggering, amazing. Women's rights, for example, pro-choice. If you do a US average among all the states and what they enforce, and the Italian law, you realize that America is much more pro-choice than Italy. You see a lot of protests and complaint about women's rights in America. Even though America, I believe, is probably one of the most, let's say, progressive when it comes to women's rights, and one of the ones that set the bar the highest. But why do we see so much complaint? It's because America sets the example for the rest of the world. So while on one side there's this continuous, let's say, pursuit to improve the situation even more, we also gotta sit back and look and say, holy shit, America is the furthest in front compared to the rest of the world when it comes to women's rights.